Hello and welcome, I am King's Decree with MMOplay.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at Sonic Runners. Speeding has never been so pretty in this endless runner featuring none other than the blue, rat thing. Take Sonic and friends on an adventure to save all the animals and stop Dr. Eggman. Doing so requires repeatedly attempting a stage of relatively simple gameplay mechanics, trying to collect as many points as possible to move along. All along the way, you'll unlock new characters, collect sidekicks, and hoard more rings than a jewelry store. First and foremost, the levels in this game are breathtakingly vibrant and beautiful. Bright green fields over soft blue skies look amazing at 120 miles per hour. Enemies in the level are basic filler enemies, but it's not enough to harm the general look. Granted, with such a great level leads to there being pretty much only one theme. While the early Sonic games received dozens of different areas, this game only gets one, with the possibility of more like in events. However, one great level is a lot better than a few poor ones. The only complaint on the looks department is that the less than optimal frame rate. Racing games should play at a minimum of 60, but fails to hit that ever. It's disappointing and even sometimes slightly nauseating when there's so much going on at such a high pace, and the frame rate would drop, causing a twofold effect of grossness. The reason to run, as if you need one, is to save the animals. Those poor things keep getting kidnapped by that nefarious Dr. Eggman for his cruel experiments, and it's up to you and your crew to save them. The writing, while safe and boring, can be a bit charming at times, enough to warrant not skipping through the whole thing, which is a nice option anyway. At a glance, most gameplay is just a tap, jump over things, but it's actually much more deep than that. The 3 levels that increase in difficulty are incredibly complicated and surprisingly difficult to beat. Multiple sets of heights and different ways to go about a level is unheard of in an endless runner. True to form, a good twitchy thumb helps out, but even more importantly is choosing the correct path for the maximum amount of points. This is exciting and leads to a single theme having a long shelf life for hundreds of plays. Each character also brings one of 3 different playstyles: speed, power, or flying. Speed allows a triple jump, flying is sort of float, and a power does a forward dash. Speed will be the go-to class for most playthroughs, but for the sake of variety, any difference is always a good feature. As mentioned before, the game progresses along a linear difficulty curve, starting at a steady pace without very many enemies or pitfalls, but quickly becomes a whirling death trap with spikes and tornado enemies. In between those is a bonus level to acquire more coins that you can opt out of if you want to just get to the next level. Every once in a while is a boss fight with a good old doctor, requiring you to hit objects back at him. This is by far the least rewarding aspect of the game. Thankfully, they're few and far between. Along the way, you'll collect little creatures called chows, which aid you in your efforts with bonuses like increased score or effect duration. While they don't help all that much, it's nice to see a large variety of different little collectibles, which will actually physically follow you into stages. These chows will also help your leaderboard domination if that's your racket. In addition to Sonic and Tails, you can play as Knuckles and a bunch of other characters, including a huge mech. However, Sonic and his speed trait will be what you use for most of the game, but still, it is refreshing to change it up with some of the other characters. Sonic Runners is a game that knows what it is and does everything it needs to do fairly well. Gorgeous levels and character design coupled with a deep, satisfying way to play the stages is exciting and fast-paced for on the go. Collecting chows and different characters won't change up the way you play, but leads to a pseudo gotta catch 'em all kind of aspect, and it's a rewarding progression system. My biggest complaint about this game is that the frame rate is not as good as it needs to be, but this is a runner to play for dozens and dozens of hours. A pleasant 7 out of 10. I have been King's Decree with MMO Play, taking a review on Sonic Runners. Thanks for watching.